Smashcut.
A technique in film where one scene abruptly cuts to another without transition.
Much like a typical conversation with me and my friends when discussing film, television, music, video games, or anything else that happens to come up. This is the idea behind the show, Smashcuts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Smashcuts. I'm Rich Caban. With me is Jacqueline Kemick.
Hello.
And we are about a couple of weeks after the release of Fantastic Four, which the
hmm
supposed savior of the Marvel universe, as Daredevil would say, right? I'm not Daredevil. What's his Deadpool? Used to
hmm
say, is so many people I feel like are just like putting so much pressure on this film. Like
Yeah.
I keep seeing, when you go to YouTube and you see all these videos and everyone's
hmm
like, "Will
It
this
had a
save the
great
Marvel
first
universe?"
weekend, and then the next weekend it dropped like 80 million or something, and now it's dead and it's a flop. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, whoa,
I
calm
know.
down, everyone.
But and I feel like that always, I know that, I mean, Superman kept going, but I feel like that's always happened, like
Yeah.
with most movies, like where
And
it opens big and then other stuff comes out and then it drops down a little bit,
of course, it's summer. It's summer. I know I saw Superman twice. I saw Fantastic Four twice. I definitely loved it. It was amazing. And it's got great word of mouth. Like people are saying good things about Fantastic Four. The problem that I think Marvel is facing is number one, they did go right up against Superman, which I think it's fair to say of the two franchises, Superman is more popular and more well-known and loved. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
it for the every guy, not necessarily for like diehard comic fans or comic fans in general who aren't diehard. That might be different, but just for people who don't read comics and who just know, I know Superman, I know Batman.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Well,
these are the names I know.
and this is the third time, right, that we were getting a Fantastic Four movie. So
Yes.
some people may have been like, "Well, I saw that with Jessica Alba,"
Yeah. Yeah, those
or
are always bad. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't like those movies. I'm like, yeah, of course you don't like those movies because they weren't good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's it's a lot. And then I know I've heard of several different people make this point, and I think it's very valid, is that, Thunderbolts was great too, but also kind of didn't perform the way that they wanted to. But
Hmm.
this is kind of reaping what you sow when you put out movie after movie after movie that's kind of just not that great. Even when you do finally put out some movies that are really good, because I really
Yeah,
like Thunderbolts also, um, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the same butts in seats.
yeah,
Like people have kind of been burned, and it's not superhero fatigue, because again, I don't think that that's accurate at all, but the, lackluster plot or the lackluster script, or, just kind of fumble fatigue. Like, man, they're
yeah.
they're boofing it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
how
they're
did
really
Captain
not.
did Captain America do well, or was that one also a
No.
problem? So that
Of
because
course that one didn't do well, but I could have told you that before it even came out.
yeah,
They put
yeah.
Harrison Ford in there to try and make it do well, but that still wasn't enough to carry it. And honestly, Harrison Ford, I love Harrison Ford, but like that was a show up and show like point where I'm
Mm-hmm.
standing performance.
Yeah,
Okay? Like that was the I'm here to collect the bill, kids. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
I
it was
really
not.
we because we never talked about Captain America, but I that was one of those movies where I thought I liked it better than I did because when I
Yeah,
saw
it was
it,
not
I thought I
good.
liked it. Then when I came home and watched it again, and finally it came out pretty quickly. Um,
hmm
I found myself having a hard time watching it, and then I started forwarding through it. I listened to the audio
Yeah.
commentary a little bit, but
Oh yeah. I wonder.
something and I kind of felt like it didn't feel like a movie that was made to be in the movies. It
It
felt
felt
like,
like a Disney Plus.
yeah.
It was totally Disney Plus.
But then I wonder if I would have felt like that if there was TV shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if let's say there wasn't a Disney Plus show at all
Mhm.
for Captain America and Falcon, would I have
Yeah.
thought that, So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
I would
I
have been
don't
maybe
know.
starved for because we hadn't, when that one first came out and when Wanda first came out, we're still starved for anything
Yeah.
Marvel.
Oh,
but we were
Wanda was
getting so
so good.
much.
Wanda was
Yeah.
genuinely good on
Oh
its
yeah.
own, though.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was very good
I did
to
too. Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
I think that it did not end as strong as it started. I did not like the end of it. But
Well, I think
like
the
that
pandemic had
opening.
to do with it
Oh, I'm
too.
sure. Yes, I know because they had rewrites. They had to change the whole point of the show because there was going to be like some sort of a virus or something that they had to
Yeah.
change. So I understand that, but the beginning of that I felt like it was super solid. I loved the two of them together, the Winter Soldier and Falcon, obviously now
Hmm.
Captain America, and I loved that opening action sequence with the jets and them kind of doing flying raccoon action through the air. I mean, or helicopters or whatever it was. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what vehicles they were
Yeah. Yeah.
cruising in. But I'm like, that was like movie theater quality action scene,
Yeah.
I felt.
Yeah.
Um, and super
Yeah, and
compelling.
that's what you're right. And then that's what the problem was, is because we didn't really get the big fight until the end of the movie, essentially.
Yeah,
And even the characters that they introduced were kind of very television like, kind of dialogue and
yeah.
comedy, and that, like, that kind of stuff that you would kind of let go when you're watching something at
Yes,
home.
and it's not that they're not movie worthy characters either. They're absolutely Isaiah Washington, absolutely, like movie
Hmm.
worthy characters. But I agree, it just felt, and it
Felt very
was also kind of
stilted.
heartbreaking to see, to see him now used again. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it didn't play for me, and I don't want to spend this whole podcast talking about Captain
No,
America, but
I
I
want I
do want to
won't.
say one last thing
Yeah.
about when Harrison finally does turn into Red Hulk at the podium. That was the most contrived, like, well, I mean, he's gotta go red sometime. It was like, you were gonna tell me what to do, or you're gonna tell me, or whatever it was that he
Yeah.
was saying, and like the
Don't
people
yell
holding
at
him
me
back.
like that,
And
right?
I'm
It's
like, who are you holding him back from? There's no one
yeah.
in front of him like, it was a very forced, like, it felt so dumb to me. I
But
was
it
just
was a
like,
very
this.
quick turn. It was like, I'm the president of the United. Don't talk to me like that.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
real,
And I
real
mean, even in
anger
the
out
whole
of
arc
nowhere.
of him as a character, we never hear him talk about his daughter in any of the other movies aside from the first one that no one
Yeah.
speaks of, right? And then all of a sudden it's like his driving force, and that's okay, but I don't think they played it well. It
Well,
just
I
felt
think that
very,
you felt the difference there, because
yeah,
William Hurt definitely had a, I really think he should have kept the mustache. I don't think they should have. I think they should have made, because that
yeah,
one scene where they show him with the mustache in the supposedly past, like, that looked like, it didn't look like Harrison Ford. He looked like somebody different. So I think that would have
yeah.
helped it.
I
But
do. I feel like it was very clear that this movie was on the schedule and had to get made because they needed to get from point A to point C, and they had to click in a point B movie to get there.
so
Like
you
they
don't think we're
had
gonna see
to.
Red Hulk again? You think that this is it? Like,
I
that's
hope I hope that this is it.
yeah.
I
Oh,
I
so
mean, do
you don't
you
want to
want
see
to
Red
see
Hulk?
him again?
Um.
I
Uh.
mean,
I guess that I mean I mean, the weird thing about the Thunderbolts, to jump to that movie, is that was his, supposedly, Red Hulk in the comic. Red Hulk. The reason it's called the Thunderbolts is
yes.
because
Yes.
Red Hulk is kind of the leader and of that group. So it's ironic, but that they both came out so close together. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If there's going to be, I heard there's going to be a lot of Hulks
I
going
mean, they can
forward.
redeem it if
So
they do it
maybe,
well. I'm happy
yeah,
for all Hulks to come.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, and plus I never read those runs, so you
yeah,
definitely have more of a connection to those, to that character than I do. So based on this film alone, I could care less if I ever see Red Hulk again.
yeah.
But I'm sure there's more in the comics that would make anyone who's an actual fan fight me on that, and I don't blame them, and they should, because it's tough when you see very quality characters not get the quality treatment.
Oh, you're making me angry.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God. But yeah, I loved Thunderbolts too. I thought that was really good. I just watched that again at home
yeah,
recently. Um,
yeah.
but the I do want to dive into Fantastic Four though, because
Yes,
that's the
yes.
name of the game, baby. And I know I think you were definitely the main champion for Superman. I really enjoyed it, but I could really
Mm-hmm.
tell that you connected with it. And I feel like I clicked with Fantastic Four the way the rest of the world clicked with Superman.
Mm.
Because when I watched Superman a second time,
Yeah.
I basically was going back to watch it and say like, did I miss something? Like, why does everybody like it more than me? I do like it, but like everybody really likes it, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when I saw Fantastic Four, I swear, from the opening sequence that felt so 60s
Mm-hmm.
and like was giving you all of these montages and setting up the world, and it was just that retrofuturism, the way it was shot, the way it was um, just put together so beautifully. The whole film, I kept being like in my mind, like holding on to my boyfriend's hand, being like, is this the best movie I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Is this, is this the best? Did they make this movie for me? Because it felt like every moment was so heartfelt and
Yeah.
genuine. And I literally, when I went back to see it a second time by myself, I was kind of going back to be like, did I just have rose-colored glasses on? Because I really, on the whole car ride home, I'm like, that was like the best thing I'd ever seen in theaters. That was so good. I had such a good time in that movie. I feel like it was made for me. They were like, what is
Mm-hmm.
Jacqueline Kemick like? Let's make a movie
Yeah.
for her. She's had a tough year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, yes, this is it. So when I went and saw it the second time, I did pick out some things where I could be like, okay, I see this. Okay, now I see that. And yes, I understand that when people have children, even the first time, like when people have children, there's afterbirth, and we're just gonna say that maybe her force fields were
Yeah.
handling that situation.
Oh,
But
so you went back to the theater.
yes, so I went back to the theater the second time to see if maybe there was something that I missed because I just had rose-colored glasses on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to be like, okay, there are some things I can pinpoint and say, yes, this is unrealistic and quote unquote unrealistic in a comic book movie, but still something like one of the best action sequences of all time, them escaping Galactus. First of all, arriving to Galactus. I've never seen something so cool in like that gravity of how large he was and commanding, and like the
Mm.
whole escape sequence. I mean, I just was in it. I was feeling it. It was so good. And the sequence when she's giving birth and she still has to pull it together and hide this ship and do all these things at once. And yes, she's pointed at the cockpit and there's no afterbirth, so we're going to assume that her powers are helping us with that, to keep
Yeah.
things clean. But I kind of didn't mind that because I still felt like it was the 60s kind of keep it clean vibe
Mm-hmm.
of the movie, that like none of that bothered me. And it was just everything was so thought out and done with such care. I loved all of the interactions between the family members. I know some people might have been griping that like, oh, um um Bonnie and Ben weren't maybe as antagonistic as they are in the comics or they have been in the past. And I'm like, yeah, but I almost feel like because they set up this world where you had seen them established as this team and these archetypes and these characters, it almost feels like it's the calm version of that. Like they've been
Mm.
doing that for years. They've been doing
Yeah.
that forever, but they've kind of grown up a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
And I could go scene by scene. There's so many things that I would love to talk about and dissect. I mean, every moment just felt like it was building and connecting in such a strong way. I know some people had a hard time with the pacing, and I'm like, I don't know, I felt riveted the entire time, like from the get-go, from the opening
Mm.
credits. I was just there. Like I was the families in, what was that? Was that Batman Forever where Riddler is like sucking everybody's souls into the TV with the
Oh
crazy
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
thing? Like that was me. I was like, yes, here I am.
Yeah.
Take my soul.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting is if I was going to compare it to like past movies, like it had that same sensibility of like the Batman, the original series, but I mean there was darkness there
Hmm.
in Fantastic Four, but in terms of the way the whole world was, it was very much almost like that kind
Yeah.
of like, you know, the way that comics were written back then.
Mm-hmm.
Instead
Yeah.
of trying to modernize, it.
Yeah, which is I'm so smart to
Yeah,
have it be a period piece in that, alternate universe period piece type of way.
yeah. Well, and what makes it interesting about that alternate universe is, did they ever say what year it was at any time during the movie?
Not that I caught.
I was trying to think because it didn't feel like they did. What I
No.
felt was I thought the movie felt like it was its own thing. Like even though it's part of the Marvel universe, it was very insulated, and
Yes.
uh, and I know that there's a probably much longer version because I know like John Malkovich's character was cut
Yeah,
out of
Red
the
Guardian.
movie.
No, not Red Guardian. That's the other one. But
Yeah, what's it?
what's
Red
it's Red
Wizard?
something.
Is it not Red Wizard? I can't remember what his name. Yeah, he's something red. But I don't even know that character. I just had heard the
Yeah, me
name
neither.
when they first mentioned it. Like I know the Mole Man and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But uh but what's great is that this um I liked everybody in it. I thought everybody fit for the way that the characters were being played. I thought the guy who played the Thing was great. I thought he did a really
Yes.
nice job with it. Conveying a lot of emotion. And in fact, it's what's interesting is the kids loved it. But Jen really didn't like it. This is the first Marvel movie where she
Really?
really just was like, "Nah, I don't like it." And I
Yeah, some
don't
people didn't.
and I didn't know, and she felt like she never really could connect to the characters. But I also know that she was exhausted. Like we had just gotten back from our vacation,
Mm,
so she was like she kept she was having trouble staying awake during the movie. Um, but I didn't have that problem. I it definitely what I liked also was that I'm trying to remember another movie that did this where it was, and I don't want to say like a trailer, like no, not Batman. I'm trying to think of what movie did this, where you're there and you're going forward in time with the characters. I thought that, oh,
mm-hmm.
Captain America, that's what it was. It had that very much like that Captain America sense where the first one, where you're seeing his whole career, and you're not just staying in one place. Because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time with any superhero movie is you plop down and you're with them for like a week or whatever it is, couple of days. But this is, we're watching years of their life go by, and once I think it stabilized once, obviously, what's his name shows up, or Silver Surfer when she shows up.
Yes.
um that's when the movie says kind of breaks and definitely stops going forward, um
Yes.
and but I didn't I liked it a lot. I didn't I definitely don't I thought there was a lot of pressure to put on this film, like I said, to make this be the Marvel restart, because I feel like, when we were all waiting to see Avengers, right? We saw Thor, we saw Captain America, and I don't feel like they had as much pressure on them as this movie
Yeah.
had. Um,
Yeah. The weight of expectation.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like they were able to get away. Like Thor, I like Thor, but let's be honest, the first two are kind of like but the third one is the best of the Thor movies in my mind.
Yes.
That's the one
I
that's
think
the
most
most
people would
fun.
agree with you there. Yes.
Yeah, I mean the first Thor was okay. You were like, all right, whatever. I'll see the next,
It was
whatever.
okay.
And you were also still in that stage where somebody could decide to pick and choose, where they go see the Avengers. All right, I've seen all of them now. Now I can
Mm-hmm.
decide, do I want to see the next one, Captain America? No, or do I
Yeah.
want to see what do you call it? Iron Man 3. Like you didn't feel like you had to see those, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this movie kind of did that, uh, where we had Thunderbolts was very important to see. This movie, I feel like it's just telling their story, and if you're interested in, you could watch it. But if you watch the next Avengers movie, they're obviously going to be in it. You probably can go back and say you probably don't have to have seen this movie. You could probably watch it and then say, "Oh, I'm interested in Fantastic Four now. I want to see more of their
Yeah.
story." because
I agree.
it really separated itself from the Marvel universe. Even the end, when there's like, spoilers, the end credit sequence didn't really say anything or allude to anything or even bridge anything.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah.
I do wonder
Just
though.
kept it simple.
Yeah, it kept simple and it kept it, connect. It's obviously connected, but not in a way where you had to know anything. Do wonder when they were showing us the opening to the cartoon at the end. I thought it was going to pull out and we were going to be in the was it 616? Is that what is?
Right, right. That could have been what Bob was watching when he was
Yeah,
eating cereal,
yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
I thought that's what it was going to be, and then also
I kept waiting for that tie-in from the Fantastic Four. I thought that maybe when they were in their light speed, faster than light slipstream, that maybe that's where we would get to see, but obviously they didn't even address that at all.
No, no. And then I also wondered because I thought it would end with a lot of, I fell into that trap that a lot of people did because I heard Kevin Smith saying this is when we saw the ship in Thunderbolts, we all figured,
Hmm.
oh, in Fantastic Four, we're going to see them leave.
Hmm.
I thought the solution to their situation was going to be that they had to leave, almost Planet of the Apes style, leave the planet
Yeah,
and they end up in this world because theirs world got destroyed or something.
yeah,
But no, but the fact that that's not the case and that's
yeah.
it's its own self movie. You don't need, I makes me like it even more, when I think about it. So
I loved the space parts of it. Honestly, I felt like, again, it's the first Fantastic Four movie I've seen that felt like they got them right,
yeah,
and that they are explorers, and that they are, like this sci-fi based comic world and everything. And I think it's really hard on screen to get characters like Reed Richards, who, the weight of his intelligence and what he puts on himself and how that, closes him off to other people. And honestly, I think it's even harder for them to have ever gotten anything for Sue to do. I feel like none of the other movies, uh, Sue was very strong as a
oh, this
character.
was
And I
her
feel like
movie.
in this movie, exactly, this was her movie.
Yeah, this
And I
definitely was
really
her movie.
and honestly, of all of the you know, cyber babies, CGI babies that we've seen in all
Hmm.
of these movies, I felt like this was the most successful. There were a couple, times where you're like, okay, whatever, CGI baby. But like
Yeah,
in general, I was not bothered by him at all. I
yeah.
thought Franklin was great.
I didn't even think of it. Like I wasn't even. I
It
and
was,
it,
yeah, it didn't
yeah,
become a big
didn't
deal.
didn't even like pop up in my head that that was a. I mean, obviously it must have been, but I didn't even
Yeah. Oh,
think of
I'm
it.
sure it was
Like
both.
until
I
you
think it was
just said
probably
it.
both.
Until you just said it, it didn't even occur to me. Like, but
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. I think it was much more successful. I
yeah,
really do. I feel like that was good. I love the storyline that they chose was so good. The fact that we get Franklin and that he is, the
yeah.
power cosmic is in him and everything. I thought that was so cool.
Hmm.
I do understand some people's gripe about, okay, they ended this movie the same way that they killed Kang in Quantumania, where you basically just bloop the problem into a black
Yeah.
hole or whatever, right? And
Well
I'm
they
like,
did is
fair,
they kind of
but
pushed them in and said we'll deal with it later. Like you sweep
yeah,
them under the rug
yeah.
we'll clean it next April or something like
I
that. Yeah.
I understand. And I get the gripe, but honestly, my first time watching it, I didn't even notice that because it felt so right in the story.
Yeah.
I
What are
mean,
they
they were
supposed to
they were
do?
committed
Yeah.
to, moving the planet, which I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how
Yeah.
we're gonna have an incursion, or that's, what, you're always theorizing ahead to be like, okay,
Hmm.
well, how is this gonna be a thing? And then to see Silver Surfer come through, which again, I think that some people were like harshing her look, and I'm like, I think she looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think that that was awesome. I loved the patina on her metal and everything that you could see in
Yeah.
certain lights and stuff. It was so cool, so well done.
Yeah.
The only thing that even the first time when I saw it, I was like, okay, that was dumb, was her little section of her backstory where she had this ridiculous hair and
Oh,
stupid
that when she's the
clothes,
little girl.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
it was just, I was like, oh man, I wish that they just would have done anything else there, but that
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
literally 3 seconds of the movie, so whatever. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, I mean, she really, really well done. And I thought it was kind of cool. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know that that's what they said, but one of the reasons they probably went with Shala Ball instead of what's the regular Silver Surfer's name?
Oh, yeah, I know you're
I
talking
don't
about.
know.
I don't know his name, but
Whatever. Regular
yeah,
Silver Surfer. Everybody else will know
yeah,
who's
yeah.
listening.
The male
But instead of him,
Lawrence
yes,
Fishburne in the other movies, but yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
Went with her was to kind of give that connection with Johnny and kind of have that allure. Not necessarily, I mean, obviously people were making a joke about boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, but like
yeah.
there was a connection there, and kind of have it be a little bit different dynamic. I thought was
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a good idea. I thought everything that they did
And
they
she
really
looked
played
so
into the
good.
time. Yeah,
And the
and the
whole
actress who
Star
played
Trek.
Sue, like, was
Oh
surprised.
yeah, Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, because I've seen every time I've seen her, she's always been like the wild cat in things. Like even in Mission
Yeah,
Impossible, she's
yeah,
never like tame. She seems dangerous. Where here, she didn't come off like that at all. She was very,
yeah.
because originally I thought that was an odd casting choice.
But I
Uh,
loved it because
but
I
yeah, she was
felt a
great.
strength from her the whole time,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you know?
And
And
Pedro, were you so now I know a lot of people have been complaining about him, but I didn't have a problem
why?
with him at all. I don't know.
What
People
are they
don't
complaining about?
they don't seem to think he fit the character for some reason. I don't know why. And
I
some
don't know
people
why
felt like,
either. I think
well,
he
he
was
didn't
great.
have a lot to do, but I don't agree with that. I
Mm-mm.
think it's just that he overtly
He just
didn't seem
developed
like he was a
everything.
lot.
Like a
Yeah.
lot of what Reed Richards does, and again, this I think is one of the reasons he's hard to do on screen well, is that a lot of his magic is behind the scenes. It's
Yeah.
like it's off screen, it's in text bubbles, right?
Mm,
That's his thought process, or that, is all of the different scenarios that he's going down the line, going down the pipeline, thinking up all of the worst scenarios and how to fix them. And it's
yeah.
hard to just have someone look at camera every 5 minutes and be like, can you imagine how many scenarios I've
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
already
Yeah.
processed in my mind?
Yeah. I mean, even when he talked
It's
about, yeah, the dark ones that he has to think about, like that was a great scene
yes,
where
yeah. And
he has
I
to
felt
think
like they
about
did it really well.
yeah, I mean, and
Yes.
the whole idea that Galactus wants their baby, and then the whole world is
Yeah.
like, well, why? Well, okay, what's the problem? Give them the baby. Like
I know.
their
I
attitude.
was I was genuinely surprised in the movie theater when he turned and like flat out said like, well, he asked for our baby and we said no, of course. And I'm like, oh my God, he just said that out loud to everybody. I
Yeah,
mean, obvious.
yeah. Like
And
I would have thought he'd kept that to himself. Like that part.
but no,
Yeah.
he's a stand-up guy and he's like, no, I did the right thing. This is what we did because this
Hmm.
was the right thing. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to, save the earth, but it
Yeah.
means that that's what we're up against. this
Yeah.
this is it. So I mean, that's crazy. But I don't want to gloss over how good of a comeback Galactus himself has made, because they almost made it so that the smoke monster in the last one that everybody made
Oh,
fun of, I
yeah.
mean, you could kind of almost say like, well, that was just a ship, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
was kind of covered in smoke and whatever. It was so bad because this ship was great. The the weight, the coloring, just
Hmm.
everything about the scale, the lava, like the lighting,
Yeah.
it felt big. It
Yeah. Yeah.
felt powerful, and it just was so, so, so cool.
Hmm. Yeah,
So, so, so
everything. I
cool.
mean, I look forward to see what they're going to do next. Oh, that was a complaint too. It's like, people they didn't see Reed Richards stretch enough. I guess I don't know. Maybe,
I don't
which
think that,
is
I mean,
ridiculous, because
what-
you don't need it. Because I do remember. What's funny is when we came back home. Quinn really liked, so she wanted to see more Fantastic Four stuff. So we ended up watching the first movie,
yeah,
and in the not the Roger Corman movie, but the first one Fox
right,
put out,
right.
and it's so
Of
funny
course.
because they make sure everything is so not only everything's so telegraphed, but once everybody gets their powers, it's like they're
It's
trying. make sure you
Yes.
see that what they do. So I mean, he's doing simple things in his hand, stretching or,
Yes.
and it's like you don't, I like the subtler thing of him
I
writing on the
agree.
blackboard, and that's just that little stretch he does.
Yeah.
And then even the kids who are in the classroom aren't even that impressed with it because they've probably seen it a million times because that was funny,
Yes.
you
You
know.
know what my favorite moment of his stretch, I didn't even really fully understand what was happening the first time because it was in that big scene when they were escaping and Sue was having her baby. She didn't want to get held down or
Oh yeah.
tied down or whatever it was. And the way that he stretched, they didn't make it a big thing. So it was
Hmm.
so subtle. I didn't catch it the first time through, but in the second time through, I'm like, oh my God, he is stretched so that he has restrained her, but in a loving way from
Yeah.
her husband, not in a I'm clamping you down to the table with,
Yeah,
whatever,
like a
whatever. And
bad
like
guy
he
way.
just does it. He just does it in the way that a husband is supporting their wife. I'm like, this movie was so thoughtful
Hmm.
in so many instances about the characters in ways that a lot of the other movies haven't been. And
Yeah.
I felt like what a triumph.
Yeah.
I'm bummed that people didn't really love it as much as I did, but I also know I'm like sometimes you just vibe with something and you're like, listen, I know I'm gonna be that girl that's gonna be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it was great. I mean, that's watching that too. I was like, that was always what I wanted for Captain Marvel because I wanted I mean, not. I have to rephrase it for Shazam because
Right, right.
for me, it's hard for me to let go of Shazam's name was Captain Marvel, but because the comics that I read for Shazam were the ones in the 40s,
Yeah,
and those I love the stories of that. I love the people that, and this was very much that. This was, and
yeah,
that's what I wanted. As much as I did enjoy the Shazam that did come out, I really the one I wanted to make was more in that vein, that time
yeah.
period. And yeah, I'm glad that they were able to. It's great that they were able to do that with Fantastic Four, but it's also great now
Mhm.
that they can pull them in to this world without it being another like, travel through time or who
Yeah.
knows? I mean, who knows if they're stuck here? We don't know that. They may be able to go back.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen or everything's going to collapse into one world. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's a lot
I'm
that can happen, but it did make me. I felt excited for what was coming.
Mhm.
I think we're at a time now where it doesn't matter what's going to happen. Everyone's going to complain. It's like
Right. Of
Star Wars at this
course.
point.
I mean, even me,
Everyone
when I
hates
love
Star
something,
Wars now.
I'll still pick things apart because I'm like, ugh, I didn't like this. I love the movie, but also this.
Yeah.
And but you know what? I meant to bring this up during the Superman podcast, but I had forgotten about it because I didn't want to squeeze it in an opportune moment. But watching Fantastic Four made me again remember one of the other things that I think made me like this more is that I don't think I care for Lex Luthor as a villain at all. And
Mm,
it's not the person who plays him. It's not, even I mean, it could potentially be the writing, but I was really trying to think back and be like, has there ever been a Lex Luthor that I liked? No.
yeah.
So I think it's because I don't find him sympathetic and I can't get behind him in that kind of way where you always like your villains a little
Yeah.
bit, right? And maybe not always. There I'm sure are exceptions, but especially in movies where it is, a nemesis that someone is going against and
Hmm.
it's this iconic duo and it's Superman and Lex Luthor. He is the big name and in Superman I just kept being like, oh, I really just don't like Lex.
Did
And
you
I
ever
know
see Smallville? Did you ever watch
no,
that?
I
See,
didn't.
I
I
think
didn't.
that's where you would have liked him because they were friends in that, but it was also he was very likable. Like I still like Michael Rosenbaum because I even listened to his podcast
Oh
that
yeah.
he has inside of you, that the one where he interviews a lot of he's actually really good at it. He's been doing it for geez, a long, long time. But he was, I agree with you. The Lex of the movies was always into real estate, and
Mhm.
I don't, and which I hated. Kevin Spacey's Lex did the same thing, and
Yeah.
where this Lex Luthor was actually they really they really showed you what he was about, but also they had a father figure in it,
Mm.
Lionel Luther, who was I forget
They
his
should
name now.
do that in the movie. They should do
Yeah,
something if like there is some sort of flashback or in an appropriate way. Like, but yeah, I really do. I feel like because I've only known Lex from the movies and the occasional comic, but I was not a Superman weekly reader, so
yeah,
or monthly reader, so I don't know a lot of them. But but yeah, because those are the only ones I know, I haven't been able to connect. And to me, it means that maybe I don't like the character, but to your point, maybe it is the writing. Like he
yeah,
needed stronger substance in the films because someone shouldn't have to have watched all of Smallville to
yeah.
have some sort of emotional connection to a character
Well, because
who
we
is
don't really
so huge and
understand. We don't really
gotten lots
understand
of
why he's
time with
so
him.
angry. Yeah, we
Yeah.
like why does he hate Superman so much? Like we get that little blurb
Well, the
about
jealous.
Superman.
Yeah, there's the jealousy. There's like he's
Yeah.
perfect, and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it comes across again just tacky.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Boo
you're
boo.
right. Yeah, it's a good point. I
Don't
mean,
be jealous.
I like
Don't
him.
be ball jealous.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny in Smallville. I mean, as a kid, he is in Smallville when the meteor shower happens, and he's like
Mm,
maybe 6 years old or something like that.
mm,
And because of what happens, it's almost why he lost his hair. And
yeah,
it's a weird like thing and then he kind of becomes obsessed with what was that, that whole thing. But so
yeah.
there was more substance to that, definitely, and to his character. But Luther was
Mm,
always, even before, like when I did used to read the comics, there were always other villains that were more interesting, like Brainiac was more interesting.
yeah.
Or just just other characters I can't even think of. He's had so many
Well,
characters here and there,
and this
but
is why I was gonna say, like, because when you have Silver Surfer coming through, and then you see even just a glimpse of that backstory of where, they're just trying to save their planet,
hmm,
that's all it was. It was just a kind of a forced situation.
yeah,
That's a compelling quote unquote villain. I mean, I think a lot of people would argue she's not a villain, but she killed had a hand in killing a lot, a
yeah,
lot of a lot of planets, and Galactus too. The fact that I wish they would have gotten into that a little bit. The fact that he's kind of a necessary part. I know that they said something about as necessary as the stars or something, whatever her
yeah.
quote was. But I mean, I I wonder if that's something that they would ever expand on. I think did they ever expand on that in any of the other ones? I don't really think so. I think the
uh
closest that we got was Eternals, and that wasn't about Galactus. That was just the Celestials.
yeah, yeah, because
And
I'm
that's
trying to
kind of really
think,
the best explanation
in
that
the
we've
in the
gotten.
second Guardians of the Galaxy, like, his dad kind of talks about, the difference between the Celestials and the, because doesn't he mention them?
Hmm.
He mentions the Celestials when he's doing that whole his whole
Yeah.
presentation. Because isn't is he a, he's a god, but is he a celestial? I always get confused about.
It seemed, if I'm remembering correctly, it seemed like he had a little bit of that Celestial in him. He had a little bit of
Yeah,
that dog in him.
yeah,
What I mean?
yeah. That's funny.
Just a bit, but not full Celestial.
Yeah, because otherwise he's not, because they were huge, just like all of their
Yes.
skulls are all over the place, and
Well, I
people
mean,
are,
Ego was a
yeah,
planet,
yeah,
so I
you
mean,
go,
he was
yeah,
huge too.
yeah. I guess they didn't. I mean, I never really knew much about the Celestials or the New Gods, or well, now I'm confusing two things. Did you? Uh, I
Yeah.
and I always used to do that because I was never into the cosmic aspect of the superheroes up until
Hmm.
Guardians. I was, Guardians the movie. I was
Yeah.
always kind of like standoffish about the cosmic aspect of these movies.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see Batman in space. That bothered me. You know what I mean? Like when you'd see that,
Batman
and
in space? Does he do that? I have never read a Batman in space story. Well,
well,
no, that's not true. They have that whole Justice League space
yeah,
station. So that's
yeah,
that's okay. If I was thinking more like
going to a different
Batman
planet.
in space. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. But he has too. That was the whole thing. Is what was it? It was a Justice League episode where
Yeah.
he was in space and they were on a different planet. And even I still was kind of like, yeah, like that, because I wasn't ready for Batman to be there. But then you look at like a movie like Avengers Endgame, not Endgame, the first Infinity War, and the
Yeah.
first thing they did is they took Spider-Man, yes, he did
Yeah.
go to space
Yeah.
occasionally,
Friendly neighborhood
but he
Spider-Man.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, mostly always an Earthbound hero, and they put him up there,
Hmm.
and it was great. He had the right
And it worked.
reaction,
Yeah.
and yeah, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
So, Marvel has been the only one that's been able to pull off the outer space part of it, and I'm sure that with
Yeah.
Superman now doing this, um, and James Gunn writing this, I'm sure they'll be able to continue going. But yeah, but to Fantastic Four, what's interesting is I don't know. I know the director's Matt Shankman, right? Is his name?
Hmm.
And I struggle to even know what he did before. I don't know.
WandaVision.
Oh, but he's never done a film, right? Like that was his
Oh,
first.
well, I don't know. Actually, let me look him up.
Yeah,
I
because I
mean,
mean,
that's what I knew him from, obviously, but
and he was great doing that because he got every time period perfectly. Um,
yeah.
but it's interesting because I don't know the creative team on this, so who even wrote it, or but I thought it was great for setting it up and giving them a movie that they deserved, finally after all these years. After being the first movie to be the embarrassing Roger Corman movie that they made originally, that none of us
Yeah.
were supposed to see, but we did. Um, but
I'm looking him up now. Am I crazy? Yeah, he did. I was like, am I crazy? Okay, so Monarch Legacy of Monsters, he did. The
oh, he did
Consultant
that's the
TV
TV show?
series.
Wait, he did the
Hmm.
Monarch TV show? Okay, I like that. I don't know if you ever got to see that, but
Well, he did 2 episodes of it, but
oh, okay,
he
okay.
did, yeah, he did 9 of WandaVision, so like that was his baby.
Oh, okay.
He did an episode of Succession, he did an episode of The Boys, so he's done a lot of TV. Oh, he did an episode of Billions, love that show.
Okay.
43 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Wow.
Wow. That's
Wow.
that's weird. That's just like the Russos, because the Russos were mostly
Two
famous
episodes
for
of
doing.
Fargo.
Oh, Fargo. I mean,
Yeah.
the Russos were mostly famous for doing Arrested Development, and then they got Iron Man, which was so crazy. I'm not Iron Man, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Um,
Hmm.
and now they're the ones guiding the whole thing in a way. So it's
Yeah.
funny that they came from, of all shows, Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he did an episode of 6 Feet Under, Boston Legal. I mean, he's done a lot of
Yeah,
a
he's been
lot of
around.
stuff.
Yeah, well, that's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Nice
But and
graduation.
Weeds, he did an episode of. Yeah, lots of
Oh,
lots of stuff that I like.
very interesting. You know what?
Lots
And
of stuff that I like.
I think this format also works better for, like, the difference between television directing and film directing is, when you're a film director for most movies, you are the complete creative controller of it. Although sometimes
Hmm.
a producer, know, and also take it over, but most of the time it's a director's medium. Where television is always like the producer's medium, like the
Right. They're the through
so
line.
yeah, I think that probably works better for someone like Kevin Feige to be able to be still the big boss, but then you have,
Hmm.
somebody like this guy who's like, well, I'm used to this. I can direct a movie, but know
Hmm.
that, I'm working for this guy's vision, not so much and
Hmm.
it's a collaborative, but it's
Well,
more, you
and I
know,
mean, there's also just such a clear connection between the stylistic point of view. I don't think that First Steps could have been made in the way that it was if WandaVision hadn't been such a success. I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think that Disney would have been, or Marvel would have been as ready to say yes to that. And you know what's interesting is that because now of course I'm hungry for more stylized content and content that has that real point of view that we don't necessarily see. Not that you can't tell a Russo brothers versus a Ryan Coogler, Marvel movie. You
Hmm.
can absolutely still get the director's point of view and vision, but something this specific, it's made me start Legion again, which was the Noah Hawley FX TV show
Oh yeah.
with um, with Xavier's son, and that has this kind of feel where it is in kind of a set time frame. It kind of feels like that 60s, which
Hmm.
obviously not everything has to be in that time frame, but I do love it. um,
Yeah, yeah,
but very, very strong visual aesthetic and excellent vibes.
yeah. And I
Highly
had really
recommend.
liked I had really liked that show when I never got to the last two seasons, but I still want to go back to it one day because it was just one of those things where I
Yeah.
forgot why. I think I lost that channel for a while, and then
Oh, well, yeah, that happens. What are you gonna do?
yeah, and then I wasn't able to see it. But
Yeah.
you just
Well, I mean, I want to say the first and the second season definitely are my favorite over the third. I hadn't watched the third a second time, so this particular run through will be the first time that I watch all three seasons as a whole.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. I do want to see. Speaking of that guy, I cannot wait to see Aliens. I'm sorry, Alien
To-
Earth, which is
I
tonight,
mean, as of recording, it's tomorrow night.
tomorrow
But by
night.
the time this
Yes.
comes up, it might be tonight. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see when it comes up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, I'm thrilled. It looks incredible.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I like this guy. I loved Fargo. Fargo is like one of my
Yeah,
favorite shows.
yeah,
Um, and so I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, with
yeah.
this. So and
Strong vision.
um so yeah, but the consensus on Fantastic before we jump into something else, consensus on Fantastic Four, I think between the two of us is we both liked it. I don't think we have
Yes,
any real
four thumbs
complaints.
up.
Yeah, four thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing it again too. That will be
Yeah,
fun.
that's one of those movies that I could watch like 5 times in a week. Like easy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's been a while since I've wanted to see movies more than once in the theater, and the fact that I saw both Superman and Fantastic Four twice, I think is a real testament to how good they are. And I
yeah,
didn't just go a second time to poke holes. You know what I mean? I did go because I really truly enjoyed both.
yeah,
And I mean, I would go again, but if I really had to make a choice, I would say I would rather see Fantastic Four a third time before seeing Superman a third time. Although I wouldn't mind seeing either one of them again in the theater
yeah.
because they really were such a fun time.
I really would like to have seen them both in IMAX format, in that big
I know I didn't get to see
screen.
IMAX either. That would have been so
The
nice.
only the only movie that it's been a while, but the last movie we did the last Mission Impossible, and that was a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
fun. It was great seeing it that big, and I've already convinced my wife that we're gonna go do Avatar like that because I
Oh,
want the
nice.
kids to
Yeah.
see. I'd like because we didn't see the second one in the
Experience it.
theaters,
Yes.
but that 3D is there's still nothing beats that 3D. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says, but I don't know
Yeah.
what's different or why what makes it different, but it's just the
Hmm.
way that Avatar looked in the theater. I,
It was
I
special.
yeah, nothing ever looked like that ever
Yeah,
again.
that was when I saw that multiple times in the theater when it came out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably been since then. I mean, I don't know specifically, but for
Did
quite
you
a while,
see did you
we
see
were
the
only
second
seeing
one
things once.
did you see the second one in 3D or
Oh
no
yeah,
no oh you
definitely.
did and
Hmm.
was it as like immersive as the original one or
Well, I didn't see it in IMAX 3D, but I
okay
did see it in 3D, and so yeah, I mean, it was really good. And absolutely, that whole thing, that second film, I mean, it was like a nature documentary. It was so
yeah
beautiful. I felt like I was, watching Alien Earth, only not the Noah Hawley edition. Like, you know what I mean? Like the
yeah
the Morgan Freeman, telling us about the species edition.
yeah yeah and speaking of that so Comic-Con happened and one of the exciting things for me was an actor who'd been in one of my films and is still
Hmm.
a friend. Arturo Castro was on the panel for Tron Ares, which he has a part
Which
in.
looks
I cannot
amazing.
wait
I
for that
can't
movie. I can't
wait. It
wait to
looks
see
so
it.
good.
Yeah. It's exciting to know somebody who's in it, but it's more exciting to see what it's going to be. And I remember when I had first heard he was going to be in it, and I sent him a message, and he wrote back, wait till you see this. The sets are incredible. And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, that's interesting because everything's always so computer generated with Tron. I wonder
Mhm.
what makes the sets incredible. And now seeing the trailer, you're like, oh, it's in the real world. No wonder everything looks
Yeah.
incredible. Like it's
Yeah.
so I'm excited
When
to
I
see.
first heard it was like Tron in the real world, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to see that. I want to see all the cool stuff, and they're just going to
Yeah,
be, and then I saw the trailer literally like the same day somebody told me that that was the premise, and I was like, "Oh, never mind. Foot in mouth. This is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Yes. I
yeah,
do want to see. Now that I see the vision, I understand where they're going, and yes, I want the Tron invasion on the big
yeah.
screen.
No, it
And I
looks
do
good.
think, I mean, we keep believing in Jared Leto. Like he is very talented.
Yeah,
He is. He just hasn't connected in a while. So I'm
yeah.
hoping I'm hoping this is the thing we can get a strong connection with. Although, you know
Yeah.
what? He was pretty good in WeWork. I do think that he connected there pretty
Oh
well.
yeah, that's right. He was good in that movie. Yeah, that was. I keep forgetting that he
Or
was
We
in that.
Crashed. We Crashed was the name
Yeah.
of that one. But
I
yeah.
think, yeah, I mean, I think Joker had potential, and definitely seeing in the Snyder cut, I thought I liked the newer stuff that was
Yeah.
edited, and I thought he was definitely interesting. Because every time I would see clips from as this Joker, I wanted to see what this Joker was going to be like. I just don't think,
I
who
know.
knows what was cut out of that other movie, but I just don't think we got to see Joker.
I agree. I don't think we got to see what the vision was. I have to
Yeah,
say, I didn't even like the vision before we got to see what it was. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh no!" But again, I worked for Hot Topic for 11 years, so
yeah,
I was, I was,
that's
real,
funny.
I was like, "Listen, I have actual flashback PTSD for that shit."
Yeah. Well, what's funny too is I remember watching, when you first saw Batman and Robin, like
Hmm.
that whole fight sequence that looks like they're fighting in a Hot Topic. That one scene where it's like everybody's in this glow outfit and they're like it's not I mean the ice thing. Oh, maybe I'm
Hmm.
talking about Batman Forever. Yeah, like when he's fighting that gang and they're all like
Yeah, I know
wearing
what
these
you're talking
glow
about.
sticks and stuff. But yeah, but it's funny that look has not gone away.
That
You know.
that I don't know. That I feel like that Batman look that you're describing with the glow sticks, that was more like the Spencer's vibe.
Maybe that's that.
But
Yeah.
I understand that people put them in the same umbrella. So,
Yeah. It was more like the dark the blue light, right? Like the black light
mhm,
kind of stuff.
yes, that's
Yeah.
that was a little more Spencer's vibe,
Yeah, that's
but
true. That's true. But yeah, but I've been watching I don't know if you have had a chance to watch the new season of Dexter. Um
we started it, but we're not up to speed. I don't know if
okay.
it's weekly or if it was the whole thing that jumped.
Yeah, I think there's only right now there's only about 4 episodes up. But what was great is, see, I don't know if you saw the trailer for the series. Like
Mm-mm.
if okay, that's good. Then I won't say anything. I'll wait till you get there. But I had seen the trailer for the series and I saw what was upcoming,
Mm.
and Jen didn't remember the trailer, so it was great seeing it through her eyes because when those episodes when we get to where we are, it was exciting, because I
That's
knew what
cool.
was coming. So I won't say any more about it. I'll just say it. I think this has been probably one of the best seasons of Dexter so far, to
Really?
my mind.
Okay, because
Yeah,
we watched the first episode and we're like, okay, and then we kind of like honestly, there's just been a lot of TV. Like Foundation is
yeah,
back on. We love that show. We watched The Gilded Age, which just had its final, season finale. Well, final finale this season.
yeah.
It's gonna have another season, I believe.
Jen loves that
Sandman.
show.
Oh,
I,
it's so good.
I have to watch. I didn't get to watch Sandman yet, and I didn't get to watch Wednesday yet. But
Yeah, I haven't watched Wednesday yet.
here's the thing with Gilded Age. Okay, I'm trying. I don't know what it is with me and that the kind of age of innocence time period. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But something about it always like kind of leaves me cold. Where Jen loves that show and she's like begged me to watch it. So sometimes I'm watching it while she's watching it, and while I'm doing other stuff or I'm
You're like, why
working.
is everyone so
I
repressed?
can't get into it. I don't know what it is about it. I was waiting to see why it was different from what I'd seen before, but I'm not. I know there's a lot of Broadway actors in it, and I know but
Hmm.
I don't. It's not clicking. Like I'm not seeing what's going on. Like I'm like, wait, what did I miss? Like. But
I definitely don't think it's a show for everybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's all right if you're not the kind of person who like really likes Downton Abbey and all that kind of stuff. Like I grew up on Sense and Sensibility and
Oh, okay.
Pride and
Yeah.
Prejudice and all that. I grew up
Yeah.
watching all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's good. And luckily James likes it too because he's all about it. But I think he's just interested in the time period kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
it's funny because even when Doctor Who went to that time period, when he meets that guy that he likes, that what's his name? From Hamilton, I just blanked on his the King. He was in that. It was like a Sense and
Jonathan
Sensibility.
Groff.
Yeah, he was in that Sense and Sensibility time period, and I was even then I was like, nah, all right, okay. Well, what's the next
Mm-hmm.
time period? I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
what's the next one? I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't blame you.
so it's funny,
That's all
but
right.
yeah, I mean, some of those shows are like same thing with White Lotus. I saw the last season with Jen because she begged me to watch, and it was okay.
The
I didn't
last
have a
season
problem with it.
was probably not the one that I would start someone on.
Yeah,
Like
I know. I just hadn't had
it had a
time.
little
Yeah,
weird turns. I mean, they all have weird turns, but that one,
yeah,
I
that
don't
went
know.
a weird way. Yeah,
That one went
but
away. Like,
yeah, but yeah, but it was yeah, Wednesday is the next thing I need to watch. But Aliens are that's the one
yeah,
I
Alien
can't wait for.
Earth.
Oh,
I
and then
know. I'm
Predator,
thrilled.
the new Predator
Mm-hmm.
movie. I thought the trailer for that looked
I think
like a
it
lot
looks
of
great.
fun. Yeah.
Everybody is freaking out about the look of the predator. Like, what happened? Not my predator. Like, what happened to
Oh,
his face?
brother.
And I'm just like, I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. It did look kind of funky, but
Well, he's supposed to be a young
I'm
guy
already
anyway,
used
right?
to it. I'm already used to it.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I when I
he's
first saw it, I was like, yeah, that is weird. And then I'm like, now it doesn't bother me at all.
but if he's like a newer, younger Predator, this is their first outing or whatever, you
I
don't,
know. My boyfriend was like, I bet it's a girl. I'm like, who cares if it's a girl or not? He's
that
like, I
would
bet
be
they made it a
funny.
girl. I'm like, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Everything's got to
funny.
be a chick now.
Well,
Like,
I
shut
like the
up.
idea. Yeah, well, that's I like the idea though that I heard the director talking about he got the idea for for doing this Predator by when he saw a picture of Chewie with 3PO strapped on his back, and
Oh,
he was
yeah.
thinking
Well, that
about
was very reminiscent.
yeah,
Yes.
and he was thinking about that, and he's like, what if the Predator had to deal with a situation like that? What would that be
Yeah.
like? And I guess that's where the story grew from. And I
Yeah.
like that idea, like uh the way that looks. So I'm anxious to see this one. I didn't get to see Prey. I meant to.
Listen, Richie, I am not a therapist in any way, shape, or form, but having you be like, oh, I really like the way that looks, somebody who really just can't get away. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't mean like that.
I know. It's just
Yeah,
funny.
that's funny. Yeah, that's my dream to just
Um,
carry everybody as a backpack,
yeah,
around.
just a little backpack friend.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need
I
your
love
legs.
that.
What was that
I
movie
love
where
that.
that what's her name was supposed to be in? Cheryl and Fenn took the part where Julian Sands is cutting off body limbs.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Oh
What
yeah,
was
what
that?
was it? So it was supposed to be. I can't remember the name of the movie, but Kim Basinger was supposed to be in this movie with Julian Sands, and then she decided not to do it, and they sued her over it, and Cheryl and
No.
Fenn ended up being in the movie, and it's like this guy who's obsessed with Cheryl and Fenn that then he chops off her legs, and he's like chopping off bits of her body, but so it's not even a horror movie. I mean, it's a horror movie, but
It's not even a horror
yeah,
movie, he
not
says.
in the not in the Saw way, it was like in a
Hmm.
Beauty and the Beast kind of way. Not that
It's
it
like
was
in a misery kind of way.
yeah, yeah, I guess so. That was a weird movie. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was a big deal when it
Wow.
came out.
I don't know
Um,
that one.
yeah, but yeah,
Richie,
but
you got a lot of amputee
yeah, yeah.
stuff like right in your back pocket ready to
I
pull
know,
out. Like,
I know. That's funny.
what's on
Uh,
your computer, Richard?
yeah, amputee. Oh my
Stop
God.
it. I'm sorry.
That's
Have you
funny.
seen the Predator cartoon that they pulled out?
I haven't watched it, but I did.
It's good.
Yeah, was it good? Okay.
Yeah,
Where
it
is it
kind of
on? Is
reminded
it?
me.
Is it on
It's on
Netflix?
Hulu.
Okay. Same
It's on
director. I know
Hulu.
that.
Yes. So it's another one of those situations where it's like a three-story anthology, and then but same kind of storyline, different ages, different warriors, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you have like a
funny.
Viking, you have like a ninja, and then you have somebody who's a little more modern.
Yeah,
But
because I saw
it's
that
cool.
came out, and then also the Lord of the Rings, not Lord of the Rings cartoon, but the Middle Earth cartoon also came out. The one that Peter
Oh, I
Jackson.
didn't see that.
Yeah, I forgot what the name of it is, but he had produced it. It was
I have to
released in
look
the
that up.
theaters. Um, I
Oh,
cannot remember
the
the.
the Rohirrim one?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
War of the Rohirrim? Yeah,
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet. I do need
I
to watch that.
I think it's on HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh. Well, we have that.
Um,
Maybe we'll watch that tonight. That's cool.
yeah, so that one was on there.
You know what else we just watched, which we're a little late to, but now I'm bummed because they didn't get renewed for a season two, and it was set up very well for season two. Was that show called Chaos with a K on Netflix, and it's like Jeff Goldblum as Zeus, and it's basically
Oh
like what
yeah,
if the Grecian gods were real, and like
yeah,
we worship them like we, you know, worship other religions on Earth nowadays currently.
yeah.
And it was really interesting. It
It
was
seems
really
like the
good.
perfect thing for him. Like
Yeah.
his vibe is like, like it seems like it's maybe was it on Disney Plus or it was on Netflix? You said.
Well, I saw it on Netflix. I'm not sure. I thought that's where it premiered,
Yeah,
but
maybe that's
maybe
where it was.
I'm
No, it
mistaken.
probably
Yeah.
was there. I was. Oh, I know what I was confused. Yeah, it's a different thing. It was Jeff Goldblum's, the show where he was discovering things. That was on
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
Plus. Yeah, that's a whole different
Yes.
show. Um,
That is a whole different show.
but I never got to see the second season of the Neil Gaiman the Angel one. Good Omens, was that?
Oh, yeah. Good Omens. Yeah. You know what? I didn't finish that second one either. I need to go back and look at that one.
Yeah. It's a shame now that,
Now
he's
that no
now
one
in
will
the.
ever touch any kind of
I know.
property of his. Yeah.
It's I sometimes, sometimes maybe we don't need to know about everybody's life. Like
I
let's just,
know.
like because I'm sure, there's Edgar Allan Poe or whoever, I'm sure there's a
Hmm.
lot of skeletons in everybody's closet in some of these former writers. It just sucks that we have to know all this stuff, and it makes it harder to enjoy things,
I
and
know.
it's.
It's the same true. The same is true with actors and everybody. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
true. And musicians, it's so true. Did you know though? I had found out not too long ago, this last year, that there's actually Edgar Allan Poe's death is a mystery.
Yes, I did know. I did. I ran into a YouTube documentary about that.
I was
I
like,
didn't know
oh my
that
God,
either. Yeah, what was the
I had
mystery
no
again?
idea.
It was because
Well,
and then there was somebody that kept visiting his grave every year, right? Like that.
yeah, I feel like I remember because again, I probably listened to a story and I don't have all the details,
Yeah.
but I do remember it was something like he was found in a street not wearing his own clothes and was drunk apparently, but
Hmm.
didn't drink so much so
Yeah.
that he was like a what did you call the people who were anti-alcohol at the time? The prohibitionists.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean he would like write papers and really be very outspoken about not drinking. So for him to basically have drunk himself to death,
Yeah, it was
he
with
was in
absinthe. Was that thing called
absinthe.
yeah, that green drink, whatever that
Yeah,
thing is.
I don't
Yeah.
know if what I had heard about didn't specify that, but it did say that it happened around a polling station. Like basically, this was a well-known thing that used to happen is that people would snatch people off the street, gangs would snatch people off the street, and like basically force them to go vote for whatever candidate that they wanted to vote for in whatever election was going on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then outside the polling place, make them drink, put on a different costume, and go to a different polling place and have them
Mm.
vote again.
Oh
And
wow.
then keep like basically keeping them inebriated. But Edgar Allan Poe had some sort of condition where he said even years and years prior, even on one drink, he would act like he was crazy drunk. Like alcohol affected him in a very strong way. Like there was something chemically going on in his
Huh.
body. So if that is what happened to him, like this is a theory, obviously not known, but if he had gotten picked up and kind of passed around all day, he literally just couldn't help himself and he couldn't get help. And by the time anybody found him and saw him, he couldn't even articulate what had happened
Wow.
and eventually died. But anyways, I was like, I didn't know Edgar Allan Poe had a mysterious death
I know.
also.
There was, yeah. And then to pick up on that, after he died, there was
Mm-hmm.
somebody that kept visiting his gravestone and leaving, I
Yeah.
forgot, particular flowers, but it happened every year for 100
Mm-hmm.
years. So they think that it
Mm.
was even passed down the generation, like somebody said, you have to
Yeah.
continue doing this. And then it stopped for like 10 years, and then it started again, but then stopped. So, but
I've got to
it
look up the details again because I'm like,
yeah.
it's all fuzzy for me, but I'm like, wow, how interesting.
That's so
Sorry.
funny that you spent, because I only just ran into that the other day,
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes I'll have YouTube going and I fall asleep, and then I'll wake up
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's a documentary playing on there or something.
Yeah.
And that just happened to be one of those that happened to be on, and I was like, what? And it kind of
Yeah. That
intrigued
is
me.
funny. That is
So,
funny.
but well,
Well, we've definitely smashed cuts there. So
yeah, we really got who
detour.
if
Hey,
you would have
it's
told
still
me we'd
entertainment.
be, yeah, if you would have told me we're going to end on Edgar Allan Poe, like when this started, I wouldn't have seen
That's
that coming.
true.
But yeah, but anyway, obviously there's gonna be a lot more shows and things to talk about. I'm trying to think of the next big movie that's happening now, because I know we're done for Marvel until is there an I well, Spider-Man's been filming all over the place. So there's all these rumors that Spider-Man is going to be before Doomsday. I don't know if you've heard that,
Hmm. Well, I
but
don't know. They just started filming.
they just started filming, but boy, they cannot keep their mouth shut about it. Like they're so excited about what they're filming. They keep every day there's like some new, oh, this actor's in it. Now this guy was seen filming, and they're
Yeah.
not even taking this stuff down. Sony's like, yeah, put it up there. Why don't you
No,
edit the
they're
movie with the footage you have, you know?
they are actually airing a lot of stuff, like filming like promos with him being like, "Okay, day 1, I'm ready." You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're definitely ramping it up.
I was embarrassed to say that when they premiered the costume, I was looking, I'm like, I was like, is it different than I like, I didn't, they were making such a big deal about this outfit. And I was trying to remember from the end of the last one. I was like, I thought we already kind of saw him in an outfit like this. Like
Hmm.
I didn't know I didn't see the difference, but I've never cared. I mean, that stuff doesn't, I don't care what outfit they put him in. I just love the stories, that
Yeah.
never really matters to me. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited they're doing this, and it's fun to see that, in a way it's good. Let's hype everybody up again, because I'm tired of
Yeah.
hearing all of this, people, getting tired, getting all, oh, too many superheroes, or oh,
Agree.
Marvel's going down the tubes, or Star Wars is done for, or whatever else,
Agree.
you know.
Another comic book movie that's coming out this week is Red Sonja,
Oh, that's right, yeah, I did see
which
a
we've
trailer
been
for that.
talking about since I think we've been
Mr.
talking
Movie
about the
News.
Red Sonja movie. Yes, since
Yes.
Mr. Movie News.
Yep. Yep. We've been,
Oh my
we've
goodness.
and it's so funny because I've never really, it was like, all right, if it comes out, it comes out. It's never really been, I haven't
Hmm.
been waiting all this time. It's not like it's not going to fulfill my dream or anything like that. But it's like, all right,
Yeah,
whatever. Good for
it's
them.
had it's had quite a few changes
Yeah.
in hands and in cast
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah.
the last time from us starting to talk about it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
can't even.
Predator Badlands comes out in November. I'm looking just to
Hmm.
see anything else that's like big.
Oh, November. I thought it was a summer movie. Wow. That's
The second
long
Wicked
way.
movie is also November.
Yes. Yeah. That I can't wait for.
That'll be
But
good.
is that it for summer? I mean, there's no other big summer
Oh,
film
oops,
that's
oops.
going to finally tie
Well,
the bow
we've
on
got
2025,
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really seeing anything like crazy.
Huh.
Like, I'm really not seeing anything Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger, but that's coming back. Oh, you know what? August 25th, I want to say. Batman Returns is in theaters, one night only, but
Oh,
they're
that's
playing
fun.
it at like 10 p.m. and it's a Monday. And I'm like,
Uh,
listen, you know, the people who are going to come out to see Batman Returns in theater are
yeah.
not, 20. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they are, but like, it's going to be, you know, there's gonna be
Yeah.
old hags like me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta work early in the morning.
That's funny.
I
Uh,
gotta work early. Yeah, I
well,
don't really see anything else
there was,
crazy.
and they were showing. I think they're gonna show the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in the movies again too. If
Oh, I
I'm
didn't see
mistaken.
that.
Yeah. So I know that unless that already happened, that may have already happened. Um, but that would have been fun to see again in the theaters. But I would have enjoyed seeing Batman, the first one, in the theaters again. Um,
Hmm.
but
They should have done a double feature.
yeah, yeah,
That would have been cool.
yeah. And yeah, I guess that's it for the summer. So I can't think of
I
anything that.
mean, I'm sure there's little things. I mean, Weapons came out. I do want to see Together. I think that looks like a great body horror movie.
Yeah, it
Um,
looked interesting.
yeah, I
Um,
do want to see that one, but
yeah,
nothing
well,
that's like big.
I mean, yeah. Besides Wicked, there's no and the other ones you mentioned, like Predator. There's no real. I guess there's no real event. Like there's not a Star Wars or a Marvel
Yeah.
movie or
There's
anything
another
like
Conjuring coming in
Conjuring.
September.
Yeah, that's the one. What's so funny is every time I pull up trailers on YouTube. Jen's always like, "Why do they only make horror movies now? Because that's all that they ever have
Well,
trailers for lately."
especially now, I mean August, September, October. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
is the right time, but I am of the mind that the right time is all the time for horror movies. I
Yeah.
love horror
Well, I
movies.
did I did see a trailer for one. It looked like fun. It was the kid from Stranger Things, the Michael J. Fox kid. Can't think of his name. Who he was the one that we didn't like
Oh,
him
yeah.
yeah. He's in a movie where it's like a kind
Steve
of a
Harrington.
zombie.
I don't know his real name.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Steve Harrington. It's like a zombie movie of sorts, but it looks funny. Liam Neeson is in it as well.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't seen the trailer for this, see if you can find it, but it almost looks like did you see the Apple TV, the studio movie? I mean the studio TV show?
I saw the first couple episodes, but we didn't stick with it.
Oh, okay. There
It was
there
funny.
there was a Johnny Knoxville like horror movie that they were going to be releasing, like a zombie
Hmm.
movie. It kind of reminds me of that in a way. Like it's a real over the top zombie movie, but it seems more like a comedy, more like a Zombie Land. You got to just take a look at the trailer. See if you, I wish I could knew the name of it, but the clues are Liam Neeson's in it, and the guy who plays Steve Harrington is in it. I know it's a lot of
Nice.
work, research work, but there you go. That's the puzzle for the day.
Nice.
So, all
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Well, very good. I will talk to you next time, and I'm sure we'll have plenty more cuts to smash.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right, bye.